Oh, happy Thursday, everybody. It is our silver episode, our 25th episode here on Cocktails with Cav. And I have to raise my glass to the audience. You guys, we can't thank you enough. I tell you what, you have been so good to us, helping us grow and getting to this point. Jeez, a piece, 25 episodes. I can't believe it. And tonight we have something special for you. Hey, 2 calves for the price of one. Our incredible guest, the Gothic and Supernatural Horror author, Author Cavendish. You're going to want to stick around. Incredible lady, incredible body of work. It's just going to be a fun, great interview. So please stick around. A little bit of housekeeping. Please consider supporting the show. Our Buy Me a Coffee link is right there in the description of the show, as well as our merch page. Great way to get some swag and support the show. So please consider it. 25 episodes. All right, let's get to it. Enough of all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the stage for our 25th episode, Author Cavendish. Oh, Kat, how you doing? I'm so glad we could finally have you on the show.
Fine, it's lovely to be here, George. And cheers.
Oh, cheers to you. That's right.
Southport.
You know, I'm having a double in honor of you today, Kat, because, you know, we got double the Cav going on. Kavanaugh and Cavendish. We're in it.
We have indeed. 2 calves are better than one.
Exactly.
Twice the trouble, twice the mischief.
Oh, yeah. I think that's where we're going to go with it.
Too right.
Oh, well, how are things over in lovely Southport, England? Weather good, all that good stuff.
Weather's not bad. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a quick cough. There we are, little frog in my throat. Escaped from the pond. No, it's the weather's not too bad. I mean, it's been a very mild winter, so the garden thinks it's spring, and the crocuses sort of poke their heads up above the ground sort of around about Christmas time, went tried to get back down again, couldn't, and now they look very sad and weary. So they've been joined by hyacinths. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not sunny.
It is. It's like yeah, we're having the same problem here in beautiful New Orleans. You know, we live in the middle of a swamp, and we're having our seasons changed. Nothing but sinuses for everybody. You know?
Yeah. I sympathise and empathise.
Oh, geez,
People got coughs and colds and sneezes and goodness knows what here. So there we go.
Yeah, well, this is also my grandmother's elixir for colds and cough. You know, it's add a little honey, you're good to go. That's
okay. I'll stick to the gin martini.
That's right. Well, golly, Kat, I have so been wanting to have you on. You're such a great, prolific author in your genre. And, you know, but before we get into all your work, please let the viewers know that may not be familiar with you, Kat, because I've gotten to know you on X, and you're just a wonderful person to talk with and just have fun with. Let the viewers know a little something about yourself and how you got into writing, and especially the genre you're in, which is... I love the genre. I've always been a fan of Gothic horror. So,
okay. I first started writing when I could hold a pencil, but nothing made much sense because I couldn't read or write properly then. So, skip forward a few decades, and I've started writing really historical fiction with a bit of. Then I tried my hand at a bit of crime fiction. Then I tried my hand at a children's story, which got far too political, so it ended up not being a children's story. The crime story didn't work because I couldn't solve the crime. So what chance of my sleeve got? I tried romance. Oh boy, that did not go down well. That did not work at all. I had a heroine. I got so fed up of her. I left her. She was dreadful. I left her in an elevator. Elevator. I left her in an elevator with the man of her dreams on it. She didn't know it was the man of her dreams yet, but she didn't like it. It was a typical story. Left her there 45 years ago. As far as I know, she's still there.
Only Cat could break up her relationship in a romance novel with her own characters. I'm breaking up with y'all. Y'all are on your own.
Wasn't for me. So I sat down one day and I thought, hang on, I like writing historical fiction, but my kind of historical fiction, the ship has sailed. It's all heavy on the romance, light on the history. And if Henry VIII doesn't happen to look suave and smooth and elegant when he's 45, then you make him suave and super and sexy and elegant at 45. Well, that doesn't work for me. I know what Henry VIII was like when he was 45. I wasn't there, contrary to popular opinion, but I do know what he was like, and he was anything but suave, smooth, young, vibrant, lively. He was obese, but never mind the obese. Let's go to the ulcers. Let's not talk about the ulcerated legs. He was gross. He was vile. He was horrible. And no, so I prefer to tell it like it is. That didn't go well with anybody. I mean, it just didn't. They wanted him to be all sexy, even though he was completely vile, obese, and ulcerated legs, and it was just horrible. So I thought, well, hang on a minute. If the ship sailed on my kind of historical fiction, which is more heavy on the history and less on the romance, what can I do? So I thought, well, what else do I like reading apart from just historical fiction and history and so forth? And I thought, well, I love scary stories. I love ghost stories. I love M.R. James. Love his scary, really scary stuff. I love things that go on in the shadows, things that are about to leap out at you, or are they? Or what is that's over there? And it's, oh my God, what is that? That's the sort of thing I love. And I love it in a historical context. So hence, I started writing scary, ghostly stories. And all of a sudden, having spent years and years and years trying to get published, all of a sudden I managed to get a publishing contract. And then I got another publishing contract, and that second one I got was with a lovely publisher called Samhain Publishing, which sadly is no more. But it introduced me to a fantastic editor called Don Doria, who I work with now, and he's kind of a legend in our field. And I'm going to cough a minute. Excuse me. He's really legendary, a legendary horror editor. And I happened to win a competition. I was one of 4 people who won a competition to write a Gothic horror novella for Samhain, to be part of an anthology. And that was with a story called Linden Manor. And it's still out there as Linden Manor. And so that's how I got published with Samhain. Sadly, as happens in the publishing industry, Samhain eventually had to shut up shop. But then I kept in touch with Don Doria, and history will now tell us, come up to the present, I'm still with Don Doria because he's the senior editor at Flame Tree Publishing, who now have kindly become my main publisher. And so that's basically it. I've gone from using a small portable Empire Smith Corona typewriter. Does anybody remember typewriters? The whole generation have never used a typewriter. I can't believe it.
Well, my daughter actually gave me a typewriter replica keyboard for the computer. And I was, because I'm just, I guess we're old school.
yeah, you can't beat it. I was reminiscing a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, with Ramsey Campbell and a few other people that were kind enough to come to my book signing. And it was so lovely of them to be there. And it was so lovely to see other people remembered the feel of carbon paper. You never, there's a whole generation don't know the delight of feeling this tactile stuff known as carbon paper and getting the ink all over your fingers. I mean, you can't beat it. You can't get that off a laptop.
Plus sniffing it when you were a kid at school. That was awesome. No. No,
didn't do things like this in my school. No, we did not do that. We had glue. No, we didn't.
That's right. Oh, what? Hey, I tell you, that is an interesting history of how you arrived at writing Gothic horror, and obviously from your prolific amount of work, Kat. I mean, you just have some wonderful, wonderful novels. And I'm just scrolling. I'm not sure if you could see it on the screen, but for our
Yeah.
viewers, just scrolling through your prolific amount of work, and they've all just been so well received. Well liked, that's for sure. And I believe you have a new one coming out, don't you? Or just came out, didn't you?
That one. Yeah.
Oh, Those Who Dwell in Mordenhurst Hall. That's the new
That's
one.
right. That's the
yeah.
one.
That came out just a few weeks ago, or?
Yeah, it came out on February the 13th, and so that's my new baby. Yeah, she's out in the out. She's flown the nest and she's out in the wild now, and that's my story. That's Grace. Well, that's not Grace Sutcliffe, but the character. The main, I don't know who that is. The main character is a girl called Grace Sutcliffe, who's the daughter of a Yorkshire mill owner. And the year is 1928, so we're very much in the era of Scott Fitzgerald's, the Flappers, the Bright Young Things, Evelyn Waugh, Noel Coward, all that kind of era. Only, of course, because it's a Gothic horror, it's not a romance. She falls in love with a Viscount Mordenhurst, sure, but because it's me, because it's the story as it is, obviously things are not going to go very well. Viscount Mordenhurst, Simon's elder sister Cecilia, is very much against Grace. She doesn't think Grace is good enough for her, and makes things very, very difficult for Grace right from the get-go. And Grace finds out right from the get-go that there's something very wrong with the ancient Mordenhurst Hall. In fact, it's not just the hall, it's the entire village of Courtney Abbas, where something is evil, something is rotten, and people have a certain look of each other, as if they shared a parent.
Yeah, well, there you go. And I imagine the pool was limited. There's probably a lot, no. But that is what do you do to mark? Because I noticed, when I discuss with authors a lot, is especially, from getting to know you, people that just kind of pour their heart and soul into their work, and, getting your work in front of people obviously is the constant battle for us poor creators, and it's with such a prolific library that you have going of your work, could you maybe impart some wisdom on that front? What do you do on your end, as you market and try to, hey, I'm over here, in the volume of things that fling around the internet,
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, you can spend an absolute fortune, and I would caution anybody to be very, very careful about doing that, especially on social media, because one thing I've learned just through seeing other people, learning from other people's experience, is there's an awful lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of people who say, hey, I can market your book to put you in front of 300,000 people every day for the next 5 years, and all it's going to cost you is your bank details.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, there's money coming out of your account every month, and it's going somewhere. You think you know where it's going, but in fact it's going somewhere else. And then you try and stop it going anywhere, and you're in trouble. So you've got to be really careful. What I do is really very simple. I'm all over the place. If there's any social media outlet, I promote myself on it. I've got backup from Flame Tree Press, particularly. They are great. They have a marketing department, and they do, they promote me. They promote my Flame Tree titles with other publishers. I'm also with Crossroad Press, who are absolutely lovely, and they are now putting out print versions of some of the reissues that they did from Sam Hain, when they took over the books from Sam Hain, and Utopia Press. They don't do so much promotion, but they are absolutely fabulous in providing me with absolutely amazing covers and all the rest of it. And so I promote them. There are titles now coming out in print that have never been in print before, thanks to Crossroad Press. Then I must make a mention of Weird House Press, who are my other main publisher, and they do promotion as well. So I'm getting support from publishers in one way or another, but it's incumbent on any author these days, don't care who you are, to make sure that you're doing your own promotion. And that means, yes, it means going where people are. You may hate TikTok, yeah, but there's a lot of people look at TikTok, so you're going to have to get involved in it. Instagram, X, where we are now, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Facebook. I know Facebook, people say, oh, nobody reads Facebook anymore. Yes, they do. There's a whole load of people still on Facebook. There's this Mastodon, there's Blue Sky, it's an ever increasing, as my link tree shows on Twitter, it's an ever increasing list, but you've got to be there. If you don't enter the competition, you've got no chance of winning.
No, especially with the volume of work that's, it's so prolific. And now with AI,
for a long time, George. I've been around for a very long time.
Yeah, and now with artificial intelligence, which we talk about a lot on the show sometimes, that the people pumping out 4 novels a week and flooding Amazon with it, it's there's competition. But I have high hopes that quality still shines through, and getting to know people and the creators, and which is one of the reasons I started the show, is just to be able to. I for one am just that guy that loves the book signings and to go meet the author, and so I have high hopes that quality will shine through when people get to know the creators. But it, like you said, it takes work on your end, to get out there. And cocktails. I mean, I don't know how many cocktails Cat has to have every week to get her books out there. But Cat, and I tell you also have another. Most all of your books are standalone. Most all of, but you do have a trilogy that I loved. That maybe you could tell the viewers a little about it. I know it was the Nemesis of the Gods, and
that's right. Yeah, that started off life as 3 separate novels. There was a little series. The common thread going through all 3 of them is a character called Dr. Emmerich Quintilis, who's, I've created some nasty characters, but I still love him the best. He is pure, unadulterated evil. He's obsessed with Cleopatra, and that's the thread that runs through all 3 books. So you've got Wrath of the Ancients, Waking the Ancients, and Damned by the Ancients. And they were originally published by another publisher. And then Weird House Press, Joe Moray said, well, I think we should put them together. When I signed a contract with Joe, he said, I think we should put them together under one roof, as it were, because the trilogy was called Nemesis of Gods. So he did that and produced this beautiful trilogy, and it's chunky. I mean, it's 3 books in one. You do get your money's worth with Nemesis of the Gods. Sorry, you really do. So it's a great big chunky book. So the book is settings move from ancient Egypt, present day Egypt, 19th century Egypt. Quintilis is a character that we never really know where he comes from. There's all sorts of theories where he's come from. At various parts of the book he's alive, other parts he's dead, or is he? He's obsessed with Cleopatra. He wants to bring her back to life for his own purposes, and she doesn't want that. She does not want that. So there's this constant feud going on, but of course everybody else is dragged in on it. The action goes to Vienna, it goes to Oxford University, so there's all sorts of stuff going on within those. I don't know how many pages it is, but it's well over 1,000, around about 1,000 pages, I think.
Oh, that's
Nemesis
awesome. But yeah, it just a great job as a trilogy chunked in one book. You're right. People getting their money's worth, and your evil
It's
character.
a great doorstop.
He's
like, when you finish it, you want to do something with it. It's very practical. Use Nemesis of the Gods. Very, very practical. When you finish reading it, use it as a doorstop.
It's multi-purpose.
Absolutely.
So your main character was like Mark Antony when he stepped on the barge with Cleopatra, huh? He said, "I didn't come here to talk."
Oh, and I won't tell you about Mark Antony in that book. There is, Quintilla. You can imagine what Quintillus feels about Mark Antony.
I like it. I like it a lot. And yeah, hopefully the viewers y'all have to get on that trilogy for sure. Well, I tell you what, Cat, I have been just so glad that you came on the show. Were willing to come on the show and share. And please look, I was showing your website. It's CatherineCavendish.com. And of course, the links will be in the description of the show. But I highly recommend, ladies and gentlemen, you check out Cat's work. And please, by all means, tell everybody where they can order your works that are listed on your website, as well as just anything else you want to share with us, because I've been dying to get you on.
Well, my books are available from the usual online booksellers, including Amazon, of course, and there's Kobo and various others. They're also available from each of the publishers. So my website's really the best place to go to sort of find out what there is and where you're likely to find it, because I have links to booksellers for each of the titles that are on there, which all of them. And in addition to that, certainly in the UK, you can walk into your local bookseller and order most of them, not quite all of them, but you can certainly order the Flame Tree Press ones. Probably the Flame Tree Press ones more than any. You can order from your local bookseller, high street bookseller, and certainly Barnes and Noble. They're available from there. I'm pretty much all over the place, really. And I'm not fussy. You find me most places. Really.
Hey, like you said, you will see Cat Cavendish. That's what we're wherever you are. And you know what? Really, that's all.
You cannot escape from me.
And really, all humor aside, that is, what it takes, and getting this great work out there. But Cat, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't gotten to know Cat on X, please give her a follow. Her X handle's right there on your video screen, at Cat Cavendish with the _. And by all means, like we said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, please go check out CatherineCavendish.com, and you can also see all of the other links she has for all of her other social media as well. That's on her Linktree, Linktree/Cat Cavendish. So please go check out Cat. All these links will be in the description for you, and by all means, check out some of that great work we talked about tonight. But Cat, I can't thank you enough. I know I've said it a couple of times, but I'm just so glad you got to come on and tell us about your stuff.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And now I must get quietly sozzled.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.